Welcome. My name is Bernardo Vargas. I am Dr. Nearshoring. And this is another program of manufacturing in Mexico for Dummies. Yes. So, in the last chapter, which was the introduction, we were talking about that there's a need, like in everything else, to make some work in preparation. Actually, it's a lot of work in preparation to come to Mexico. So we were talking about hiring early a project manager. For example, my company, it's part of our specialties. We do project management. If you want to hire us, we will be looking forward to help you, to see how we can help you, and we can fit your needs. But coming back to the subject I want to bring to the conversation is your project manager is going to help you with your cost analysis. And this program is going to be short because I just want to devote to cost analysis. In cost analysis, something that is very important is your labor. Yes. So your labor is related to your strategy, because that's why I was talking about before this strategy. So you have your strategy, which could be intense labor, low automation, manual transfer, simple maintenance. Okay, so with that in mind, instead of having an automated line with 5 operators, you're gonna go probably an assembly line with manual transfer from 25 or 20 operators. Okay, which is a perfect example. Okay. So you're going to put those 20 operators in your numbers. Now, what level of operators you need? You need. Are you fine with elementary? Probably not. So you're gonna go with junior high. What we call here secundaria. Right? So that's gonna put you in a level of low cost, very competitive cost, but a little bit high turnover. Yes. Now, if you want to go to high school, that's gonna increase your cost. In a substantial way. If you pick all high school, that's going to be definitely more expensive, and also are more scarce. So what I want to say is, if you go with junior high or in some positions with elementary, versus going to high school, you're going to have more turnover with a lower level, but they're easier to find. So if in your strategy you include some amount of salary increase for the first 6 months, like a retention program, that's going to be very important. So you don't have to start retraining when you're just starting your operation. That is like in a jet. The jet's taking off, and then the pilot push the push the control, and then the pilot, the pilot push the control, and then the jet starts. And then the pilot push the control, and then the jet starts. 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 And then the jet to full throttle, the turbine, full power. Well, imagine that you are out of view, or you are hitting some ducks, some birds, and start. Well, you don't want it. That's gonna be a nightmare. So try to put a little bit more money so you can retain at least key people. Let's say from your imaginary production line of 20 or 25, that you can actually have a seven key positions, and you can retain 7 key players, so they can help you to retrain the others that you're gonna lose with the turnover. You have to think that at least you're gonna have 30% of turnover. At least. That's a good one, huh? Because I know stories that they have 100% in a year. Yes, in a year they have turnover, the whole plant. So you have to have this, you need to have this in mind and in your numbers. Yes, and why this is important? Because I want to help you so your plan is bulletproof. In other words, that is going to support all the questioning. Okay? And that's going to allow very valuable time to your team in place in Mexico to try to figure it out, how to solve the problems, right? How to solve the problems, how to debug, yep, and how to improve in your metrics, your goals. So that's like an umbrella, if you want to look at it in this way. You have the budget, you were working ahead, you were analyzing ahead. I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult to fly with your higher management for your approval, but it's worth to try, believe me. So, and then your project manager is going to help you with your other variable cost. Your other variable cost is mainly electric utility, water, gas, all your services. Yes, that's going to be in the other variable cost, and then also your MRO, because sometimes when you have new machines or recently transferred, you have some early failures or early operator or new operator failures. Yes, so you're gonna have the die broken, you're gonna have a controller burnt, something that you didn't have before in your regular operation 20 years in Timbuktu or wherever, right? So you're gonna have it here, and guess what? There's probably not gonna be expertise in your company because perhaps all that people is already retired. So the process is already completely debugged and is running as it has been running for the last 30 years. How are you gonna know? Yeah, so it's very important you ask yourself these questions. Then your project manager is gonna help you with your investment, because things that you don't see are gonna come quite clear. For example, utility support, like a special steel structure. Let me put a case. How about you pick a building? It's an already built building, like a warehouse, very light building here in Mexico, very popular, not very expensive. So you just to put all your process in there, very beautiful. So same as your process in, let's say, I don't know, Burlington, Indiana, Burlington, Iowa. Everything was hanging from the roof. Yes, because guess what? That building built in Burlington, Indiana, 30 or 40 years ago, was designed to support and to hang all piping and ducting. You don't know. Simply, you're not an expert. You see a building, columns, steel support, no difference. Yes, but it results that the building in Mexico is lighter. So all of a sudden, you're in the middle of a nightmare because you need to build a special steel structure. Yes, for your process. So that's why you need your project manager. That's why you need that expertise. And if you get the project manager from Europe or from Germany, the first thing is make sure they are project managers. They have started recently companies. That's the first thing. So if you cannot get a local, a Mexican, that'll be not very good. But that's a starting point. Perhaps you can have both. Some international project manager, and then with the help of this person, you can find a local project manager. Remember, they are going to be working temporarily for your project. And probably you're going to keep them from the early, since you're preparing the project approval, until you're done, until, you're finished. You're in production. Maybe 2 years, right? Because after you started up, they accumulated some expertise, and you needed help for the local operation people, the expertise on how they install all the machines and all the processes, and where is this and where is that, right? So then the other thing that is very important is the architectural project. That's something that the authorities ask here. So for getting the first permits, like there is one of the first permits is a land impact permit, and in some counties they ask for the architectural project, and that's also going to help you with the other permits down the road that we're going to be talking about each. We're going to cover each and what is the requirement that you need before that permit, or the permits, licenses that are needed before that particular permit, and then subsequently everything that you need to have your operation up and running, right? And remember your legal advice. That is very important because you need to start working very early in. I always forgot the name of this thing. Jesus, where it was? Company did acta constitutiva. That's the entity, the legal entity did. It's extremely important, and that itself, it may take you to get it 3, 4, 5 months, because you're going to learn that perhaps some investor or somebody from corporate in your company need to sign. Some of those guys need to sign. But also, you're going to need a local power, a person with power of attorney, local. And that person needs to be included, his name included in the legal entity deed, yes. And you need the local power of attorney in one person, for sure. And you need the other, the legal entity deed. That's absolutely necessary. So you cannot fail. If in the end you don't come, those things, I don't know for how long, I think they last forever. You just give to your legal counsel to keep, and they keep it for you, and perhaps in 20 years or in 10 years, you can go back in those things you can use. They change very little, but in Mexico are extremely important, and they are time consuming. They take a long time to make, but are necessary for doing everything. All the other paperwork is based on those papers. Okay, so very important. In this second chapter, I wanted to reinforce what you need: your project manager and your legal entity. Your legal entity, your law, your lawyers, the support from your lawyers. Okay. Legal advice. Yes, I forgot the name, but I wanted to reinforce this part. I think it's clear, the explanation why. Doing a project without that support, minimum support. Of course, you can hire more advisors, but in my experience, this is all that you need. You can find all the answers with these two sources of help. Okay. All right, so we'll see you in the next chapter. This was just chapter number 2. My name is Bernardo Vargas. I am Dr. Nearshoring, and this was another program of Manufacturing in Mexico for Dummies. See you next time.